How's it going, guys? What's up? Today I'm with Jamie Stroud.
Hey.
Jamie, how did you start getting into performing?
Are you talking about juggling or circus in general?
Everything.
Everything. I should have asked you this before you started the interview. Is this G-rated, PG?
Dude, I think they're okay. They're fine to listen to this.
Oh, okay.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, awesome. No, because I go dance as well. So
That's cool. Right on.
Yeah.
That's all art.
Yeah. So I started with that.
Is that how you got into juggling?
No.
That's a bad joke.
That's how I started with performing, but not with juggling.
Okay.
I mean, long story actually. But I mean, essentially, I ran away from home. I ended up actually in a homeless shelter for a couple years, and there was a program actually nearby the homeless shelter called Cirque du Monde, which is a branch.
I know Cirque du Monde.
Yeah, it's a branch of Cirque du Soleil.
So you were homeless and you went there to kind of learn some circus.
Yeah, and
Cool.
that I'm so fortunate that program was fantastic for me. It was a place of peace for me.
Cool.
I was already very self-motivated to want to become independent. So I don't know if it helped in that regard, but it just gave me a nice place to be at least.
Awesome.
and a nice place to train, you know. Yeah. So anyways, so I learned juggling primarily from Rob Kreitz there. I did that for 2 years. Then
Rob Kreitz, the Mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I used to have a Mohawk.
Oh.
2.5 for 2.5 years I had a Mohawk.
Yeah, so I did that for 2 years, and then actually, from what they said, I was the first person in Cirque du Monde to go from being a student to being a teacher. So I actually got hired by them.
Nice.
Then I worked for them for about a year, but then I ended up just transitioning to other things. I love Cirque du Monde. I have nothing but good things to say about them, but I ended up just making more money with the go-go dancing, so I ended up going
there you have it. If you don't want to be a juggler, be a go-go dancer. Good money.
But this is the interesting thing. Now I do primarily circus performing. I rarely do the go-go dancing unless I get a well-paying gig. But this is the funny thing is that so in my opinion, at least with my skills, I feel like juggling or acrobatics takes so much more talent than go-go dancing, and yet on average I make about the same amount of money circus performing to go-go dancing. So it's I work so hard for a circus and I could just shake my booty and get the same money. But that's the reality.
Story of my life.
Very brief summary of my life. I learned juggling at the homeless shelter. I did acrobatics first, so I was already doing
Cool, man.
acrobatics for 3 years, then the juggling.
Nice.
Now I'm 13 years acrobatic experience, 10 years
Performing and traveling the world, what's the gift that's given back to you?
I mean, it satisfies my personality. I'm a very curiosity-driven person, so I like that aspect of circus more than performing. Actually, is just learning the new skills. So I find that just self-satisfying. I like being able to meet new people with similar interests, and then also I make money off of it. So all those.
You said you're going to Mexico in a couple hours.
Yeah, literally.
5 a.m. flight.
I take off in about 2.5 hours for an acrobatic event. So back to back, I do the juggling, then I go to the acrobatics.
Cool, man. What's it like being with acrobatics?
I love it actually.
What about your wrist, man? Don't you have to worry about your wrist and your hands? You just do stretches.
Every once in a while, I do get a wrist strain, but I try to be pretty diligent with the rehab and prehab and all that and stretching. But yeah, I love acrobatics. In fact, I put much more time into acrobatics now than I do juggling. It wasn't always that way, but it's more rewarding for me at this point. I make more money off the acrobatics, and I think I'm very well built for acrobatics. So it's easier to capitalize on it, you know.
What do you feel about the juggling? What kind of styles do you like doing juggling?
I'm very.
You do a lot of balancing stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm much more into trick orientation rather than numbers or flow.
Cool.
I like very strictly logical tricks. I'm not so much into I guess people call it more European style, where you do a movement then a movement. I like the qualification, of individual skills.
Knowing you accomplished it and then moving on to the next.
Yeah. I mean, if I really like a trick, I'll try to get it consistent to perform with, but a lot of times I want to learn a new skill, qualify, then move on to another one.
Yeah, so you're challenging yourself and you're completing that, and That's great. I mean, that's kind of like, everyone that juggles, they want to, test their limits and then try something new. And it's exactly what you're doing right there. So do you have any wild stories that you had when you were performing that you want to share? Anything like, whoa, I can't believe this happened.
Really far out ones with go-go dancing and stripping, but that might be too.
Let's go to the more of the juggling
with the juggling, okay, with the juggling.
That's cool for now.
So with the with the juggling, I don't think this is too inappropriate, but I got booked to actually at a gig. They wanted me to do juggling, just normal juggling tricks, but then I do that, and like it's more of a gay nightclub. But anyway, so yeah, I just juggle like normal. Then someone comes down and he's like, "Dude, we have dildos. Can you juggle dildos?"
Did you do it?
And I actually did it. Like,
how'd it go?
It was actually even harder than I expected. They're really awkward to juggle, but with a little bit of practice, I was able to get used to their floppiness, and I could do it.
Wow. What's it like living in Vegas?
It's ideal for me. I've been there for 4 years now, and I have no plans on.
You've seen a lot of cool shows and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just ideal
awesome.
for what I do. It's a great community. It's cheap to live there. Lots of places to train. Lots of friends.
And you're in the heart of in the middle of the States, so you can travel easier.
Yeah. So I mean, it's ideal. And if you wanted one last story,
go for it.
This isn't like a specific story, but it's just the reality of that. I put a lot of risque content of myself on the internet. So
you do one where you do a handstand and he takes most of his clothes off, so he's just in his underwear.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And then you put your clothes back on.
Yes. So
that's impressive.
Like that. Yes. I did a stripping juggling act. I did a stripping hand balancing act. I auditioned for America's Got Talent 2 years. So both those acts I did very well. Like they had me go back with them to shoot behind the scenes
awesome,
footage,
man. Cool.
Which is a good sign that they want you on your show. But both times I get rejected because of my controversial material on the internet. They want to keep their show more family friendly, so they don't want to work with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went out there and did it. You tried.
I mean, it's like you have to go out on a lot of auditions before you get something good. So it's like I don't get my I don't put my get my hopes up over it. It's it's not like my heart's all put into just America's Got Talent. I'm trying a lot of things, and every once in a while I get something good. A lot of times I get rejections, but that's just.
But that's life, man.
Yeah.
You learn from that.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of rejections, but at the same time, you learn.
Yes.
And I think that's what the most important part of performing is having that thick skin to go through those rejections and say, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to do it better next time. And then when you go do it the next show, you've learned so much from the past that you know what's going to be right for you. You can feel it, and the audience feels it on stage. So in a way, you have to go through those rejections. It's part of the game. And then from there, you can move on to better things.
Yes. And it's also important, I think, how you frame it in your mind, not necessarily thinking of it as oh no, I got rejected at this audition. Think of it like this was just more practice for you. It's practice when you go to an audition. So it's okay, you don't get accepted for this, but you still got better. You get better, you go to the next one, you do it better and better.
And that's a great way to look at it, man. Not as oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna get this. Oh no, not a test. Look at it as hey man, I'm practicing more and I'm learning for myself. This is a way to find me again and find more of my qualities and who I am.
For sure.
That's a great way.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jamie.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Check him out, Jamie, shaking his butt and juggling, doing handstands. Awesome, man. You rock.
Thank you.
You're awesome. Hey, we got 2 more hours to stay awake, so we're gonna stay awake.
Yes.
And hang out here and juggle.
Yes.
Until you fly. Because if you crash now, man,
miss
I
it.
know I will miss it too. Because that's 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So that's a trick for everybody that wants to stay up late. Just juggle. Just juggle until 5 in the morning till your flight comes, and then you can sleep on the plane. Trust me, it works, because if you fall asleep
I always do that.
before, forget it. You're not going to hear the alarm. You're going to be out.
I always go to the
hours.
airport as tired as possible so I can just fall asleep on the plane.
Yeah, I try to check in as much as early as possible and do it all. Yeah. So when I get there, I'm like, okay, I weighed it, 50 pounds. Here you go. All right, here you go. All right, here's my ID. All right, cool. Security, no problem. I'll take my shoes off. You want anything else? Okay, fine. Yeah. Laptop out, everything.
Yeah.
Try to go through that protocol.
That's a good way.
And then make it to the door, and then you get on the plane, and then when you're finally sitting in the plane, you're earplugs in, night mask on, go to bed.
Yes.
That's true.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. There you go. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.
Bye.